Hello dear community and customers of the SinTech controller. In this video I will teach you how you can set your controller yourself after you install it on the bike. Please keep in mind that we offer a full setup of the controller remotely using a computer desktop remote access software. But we very much hope that this step-by-step instructions video will help you to do everything yourself and take advantage of the fully programmable, fully open SinTech firmware. In this video, you will learn how you can limit your total power of the bike, limit your top speed, set up different functions such as reverse gear activation or customize your ride modes. So let's get into it. Alright guys, so let's get started with the SinTech controller setup. First thing we do is we will get the software that we need for the controller setup. To get that, we go to the SurRonshop website and we have to find SinTech controller right here. Then we scroll down to find the links for the software files right here. This is our Google document, so we will need 3 files from here: computer setup software, latest firmware file, and firmware flash file. So you can download as well an app for Android to test this out, and you can also set your controller from this app. That we will post instructions on that later, and also you have written instructions right here and connections schematics in case you mount your SinTech controller not on the Sur-Ron but on a different bike. Okay, so I have all these files on my computer already. I can close the browser, and here are the 3 things that we will need right now: the BLDC program for controller setup, the Xmodern loader for firmware update, and the firmware update file. So let me quickly show you how to first connect your controller. I will delete it from my device list quickly, like this. Okay, so to do that, I have to turn on my bike. It is already turned on. I go to add my Bluetooth device. I go to this section right here. It's similar on all Windows devices, on all Windows platforms. So we click right here and we search for the device that is called something like SPV043 something. It can also be displayed as an unknown device. That's absolutely normal. If you have some unknown devices listed right here and you don't see this device similar to that, please try to connect those, because it may be just a Windows glitch. Alright, so we connect to our SinTech controller right now. The standard password is 1234 on all SinTech controllers. We press connect and then we will wait for something like maybe 20 seconds until it installs the drivers for the controller. We can open our BLDC program. Alright, so it says the device is ready to be used, so we can go to the program, and first thing we do here is we go to connection settings and set our COM port, COM port. You usually will have to go to the device manager, but if you have just a few ports here, you can just try to guess. Let's try COM4, and in case in case the port is wrong, I will get no data. So I press connect. And then, okay, I guessed it from the first time, but I will just show you what happens if you choose the wrong port. So COM3, and it just turns green, but these numbers are not getting updated and the graph is standing still. So this is not the COM port we have to use. Our port for this controller is 4. You may have a different one. That's absolutely normal. Alright guys, so when you connect to your controller first, you must check that the mode off parameter, this tab right here, is actually turned off. So it's not like this. It's not turned on. In case it is turned on, it means that the controller thinks that you turned on the bike with the actual throttle input, and it went to the safety mode, and you will not be able to change anything in the program. To fix this issue, please disconnect from your bike, turn off the bike itself, turn on the ignition when you hold the throttle, half of the throttle. Okay, so I did that, and then hold the throttle 5 more seconds after you turn on the bike. and then you can let go. And now we go to the program and we press connect, and we will have a gas error popped up. And from here, you can start the setup sequence. You have to reset to default and reset controller. So everything that we will do in a couple moments. So yeah, this is an important moment. In case you have mode off popped up with the green light, please do the following sequence and your controller will be just fine. Alright, so first thing we do here in the program, we reset our controller to default, and then we reset the controller itself, and after that we go to boot mode for the to load the firmware on the controller. So I press go to boot mode right now. I can close the program. And now I opened my Xmodern firmware loader to upload the firmware file on it. So first thing we do here is we find our COM port, which is 4 for my computer. I open it, and then I get I get some information right here. Failed, the message is normal, don't worry about that. I wait for this message to pop up, and then I know I can load my file in it. So right now I'm opening my file, which is this one right here that I already downloaded from our Google Drive. I load it I load it right here. Basically, I press load, and this will take around 1 to 2 minutes depending on how fast your controller is. Computer is. So yeah, let's just wait when it's done. Alright, so we get an update success message. That's absolutely perfect. We can now close the program and go back to the BLDC program now. Let me choose my COM port real quick. Okay, I wait for connection, and okay, my connection is successful, and now I will just reset to default once again, just to make sure everything is good. And now we can start the setup. So first thing to do for the controller setup is you go to System Set tab, and you press Measure RS, which is displayed right here. The identification status is always be right here with the green light will pop up. Now we press our next step, which is Measure LS, and it will give you like a loud sound. That's absolutely normal. Okay, and now we press Start Identification, and this is a 2 minutes process where your wheel will spin like for 1 degree. This is absolutely normal. Yeah, so we wait for 2 minutes from right now and wait for this icon to become green color to turn off. Alright, so our identification process is finished, and now we press Read Table, and we have to check that we have all these 6 Hall sensors numbers. We don't have repeated numbers. So in case you have something like 3366, this means that you will have to do this process system set again, and but you will have to go to the motor set tab. You have to press read right here, and you have to find this parameter face core. What does this do is this gives you a different angle, and you have to type in a number right here from negative 0.5 to positive 0.5, no higher than that. You have to experiment with that, and you will have to type in starting from, I would suggest to start from just 0.3 and go to up to positive 0.3. To save those settings, you have to press right, then you press save to ROM, and then you press reset controller. And now you will have to repeat the system set configuration. You will have to press Measure RS, Measure LS, and then Start Identification. And then you will have to read your table and confirm that you have all whole numbers different. So no repeated numbers. Usually negative 0.3 is enough for Sur-Ron motor, and if you didn't get that issue with repeated numbers, then you are just fine, and you can continue the setup without having any to do any adjustments right here. So I'll quickly get my face core back, and now we will start our setup with the drive set tab. I go to the drive set tab, I press read everything, and I make sure my PWM frequency is 15,000. My control set is FOC, and then I just type in the standard values right here that you should type in with me. And right here I set my phase current, my peak phase current, which is 500 for a SinTech controller, but we limit it to 450 because it will peak at 500 this way. And then we go to right here in the brake set tab. We also do these values. Please just copy these values, and with this one you can play. This is the brake phase current. And what does this do is it limits your brake power. So I suggest trying 150 right here. And if you think that this is too much, simply reduce this value. Alright, and here we have our field weakening parameter that responds for the top speed. I suggest you press negative 90 right here, and just leave it like that because this is the maximum top speed performance parameter possible. Now we press right and save to ROM, and then we go to our regulator set tab. We press read right here, and again simply copy what I have right here. So 4000 here, then 0.017 right here, and this is enough. No, do not use any other settings. Also in the drive set we have this switch brake current settings, which will dramatically increase your region braking power. This is not necessary. Please don't do anything right here. Okay, so next we go to our throttle, region throttle and gas throttle setup. So I have both on my bike. I have region throttle and I have gas throttle, of course, obviously. So what I will do now is I look at the throttle actual parameter, and I will now open full throttle. My rear wheel will not spin, so I simply open full throttle and check the value. I have 4.603, and I will just type in this value right here so the controller knows where the peak number is. And I will usually what happens for regular throttles is you have like something like 0.7, 0.8 values right here, but my throttle is domino throttle, and therefore my value is 0. This is just the way this throttle works. So what I do here, it is normal that I have 0 input. It's absolutely okay. I simply type in the value, which is 0.1 higher than the throttle actual value. So it must be 0.1 higher at least. And don't forget to adjust your throttle curve. To make your throttle curve linear, simply use number 1 for coefficient K1. If you want your throttle not linear, for example like this, you can play with these coefficients right here and find what you like the most. I prefer linear throttle, so I will leave it like that. And now let's do the same with the braking throttle. And here you see I have 0.8 value, which is like the regular gas throttle value as well, if you have stock Sur-Ron throttle. So I do 0.9 right here. This is normal, and then I fully press my throttle, and I have 3994 value right here. So this is what you should do on your bike as well. Alright, and don't forget to adjust your curve right here as well. Okay, now we press right, save to ROM, and then we can test the overall system. So now we reset our controller finally, and we check our throttle reaction. So I do just a little bit of throttle right now. and I see that my rear wheel spins backwards. That's normal, don't worry. We simply go to the motor set tab and we go to motor direction and change it to 1 from 0. And I press right, save to ROM, and I go reset my controller, and then I check again. Okay, perfectly. My throttle now, it works. Sorry, my motor spins correct way, so absolutely normal. And we will now quickly set our battery tab, and this is important right here. So I will give you settings in case you have stock battery, in case you have a 72 volts battery or a 60 volts upgraded battery, like for example Emax battery that SurRonshop offers. So first let's start if you have a stock battery. If you have stock battery, simply copy these numbers from me. So 66 right here, 48 right here, and 53 right here. If you are curious, this is just the low voltage limits for you, and this is our voltage limit when the controller starts weakening your overall power to save your battery, to not damage it. And the drive current is basically battery current. You have to set it at 85, and I'll explain this moment again in a moment. Max power is not working. This parameter is not activated. Battery R is not working as well, and our braking current, let's make it 150. So drive current, what should you do for the stock battery? It's a little bit tricky right here. So usually 85 is the best number possible that fits everyone to get a relatively small power benefit compared to upgraded battery installation, but it will not cut out your bike power. So you can try this value first, and then if you don't have any power cutoffs, increase this value. Try 88, try 90. If you see that your bike cut out the power at 90 amps, if you do full throttle, then reduce this parameter backwards. This is how it works. This is the mechanics to squeeze most possible power output from the battery when so you have to set this parameter so that your controller does not take more power from the battery that it can actually give. And this parameter highly depends on your battery age and overall condition. Alright, so now if you have an upgraded battery from SurRonshop, you have to type in 260 right here, because it can do 3 times more power than the stock SurRon battery. And if you have a 72 volts battery, I suggest to you to type in these numbers for voltage, 65 right here, and I suggest you to contact your battery supplier to correctly set your drive current, but you can start with 200 because all good 72 volts batteries can do 200, no problem. Alright, so I have SurRonshop and Emax battery, so I will quickly change this back to what my preferences are, and to 60 right here, and then don't forget to hit right and save to ROM your battery settings. And then we also go to the motor tab now, and right here we will set up these two parameters. These two parameters work as speed recognition parameters. If you have connected your display, your Sur-Ron display, SinTech works with stock Sur-Ron display, you will have to set up your speed recognition. The way this works, you will have to compare your current speed recognition to the GPS value. And for example, if you see that your speedometer display says that you are going too slow compared to the GPS, you have to increase this wheel parameter value. Also, I suggest you to type in 5 in pole pairs section, just because this affects calculation of the speed, and it will be much more convenient for you and much more precise if you type in 5 right here and only play with the wheel diameter parameter. To start with, I suggest you type in like this, 66 for wheel diameter and 5 for pole pairs, and simply increase your wheel diameter if you want your speedometer to show higher speed, or decrease in the opposite case. Now, next parameter is motor temperatures. Please just copy my values. 95 will be for power weakening temperature in Celsius, and 105 Celsius will be for power cutoff, safety cutoff from the controller. Now your motor speed max will be 4500, but right now we will set it to 800 because we will be running an optimization process for your motor in a couple moments, and we need to limit our motor RPM for safety reasons. And also don't forget your motor temperature sensor in the Sur-Ron is KTY84. All right, now write and save your settings. And then what I will do now, I will reset my controller and go back to the motor set tab, and I will look at the motor flux angle parameter. And what I should do is I have to make sure this parameter is as close as 0 as possible. So I will now do full throttle. The wheel will not spin very fast. I will do that and check that what value is in this parameter, and I will correct this value in case it's too high or too low with my phase correction parameter. I will show you right now in practice, and you will get an understanding of how to do this. Let's go. Alright, so holding a throttle for just 10 seconds is enough, and I got to know that my parameter when I'm going full throttle is around 0.5 negative, and I'll just simply do 0.6 positive to correct this value and make it close to 0. Don't forget to reset your controller each time you want your settings to be saved. Alright, so now let's try again and see what is the angle now. Alright, perfect. It was just about near 0, and this is a good optimization. So please make sure your bike is running the similar way. Now what we will do is we will get our motor speed max back to what it should be like on the Sur-Ron motor, 4500, not more. Saving my settings, and then we go to the ride mode setup. So what we have here is we have our inputs, and SinTech controller, it works with the stock Sur-Ron Sport and EP switch, and what we have to do is we have to just press the switch a couple times and check your inputs. So as you can see, my input 3 is my Sport EP switch, and it is recognized in the function set tab right here. So I go to input 3 and I can choose different functions for it to work, for example reverse gear or speed mode 2 or speed mode 3. I prefer reverse gear, but let me show you how you can set it as a different ride mode. So if you want your Sport EP switch to work as on stock Sur-Ron, different ride modes. First, don't forget to press read, then obviously do S2 right here, and then here we will set up your eco mode parameters, or just a second ride mode parameters, whatever you call it. First settings right here is your phase current. Let's make it just about 200 for eco mode, and our braking current is 150, and our speed let's limit it to 3000, and our battery current, let's use 50 as an example. And I will not do anything to field weakening, because field weakening reduces your battery, drains your battery a lot, and it is obviously not helpful when you want to go eco. Alright, so as you can see, all parameters right here are very customizable. We leave this as an open platform. You can set up everything you want right here. Let me just quickly save settings and show you how this actually works. So we go to our monitor tab and we check this section right here. I press my eco mode and it goes to S2, and I press my sport mode and it goes back to S1. So you may be wondering, we have S2 right here, sport S2 mode here, S3 mode here, but where is the S1 mode? So S1 mode is the main mode in SinTech controller, and the sections you have to set it up from is the battery section and the drive set section. So, for example, in the drive set section, you can set your phase current for ride mode 1, your braking current for ride mode 1, and in the battery section, you can set your battery current for ride mode 1 and also regen current for ride mode 1, and it will be an overall limit for all ride modes. So yeah, this is how the mode selection works right here. Let me quickly show you how the reverse gear switch works. So I change this to reverse mode, and then I go to my monitor tab once I save settings, and then I click on EP mode right now, and as you can see I have reverse right here. Let me check it works. Yes, now my motor spins in reverse. That's good. Alright, so as you can see, we spent around 25 minutes for the overall setup. It can be done faster. It's not a super difficult process to do. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. We can remotely set the controller for you. I hope this video will help a lot to people who want to just play with the program and do this on your own. Don't hesitate to contact us if you have any questions, and we will also show how the overall setup can be done with the controller application for the smartphone. Alright guys, thank you for watching. We very much hope that our instructions video is helpful and you can understand how to work with the program on the computer. And please feel free to contact us anytime. We work 24/7 and we are always glad to reply any questions. If you have connection problems, program issues, please do not hesitate to contact us. Our technical support team works every day. So right now I will quickly show you what can you do actually with the controller application, because you can set your controller using this application, and we will just quickly show you how it's done. So I set my identification current and then I start measuring. So this is just a quick little look how you can set your controller using an application for the smartphone, and this is what will be the topic of our next video. We will show you how you can set your SinTech controller using just your smartphone. Thank you for watching guys, see you next time.